What is going on? It is Horseshoe Pride Podcast. I don't even know what episode it is, but I just know that we are back after like a bajillion week hiatus. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. That's it. That's my introduction. That's all you get today.
What's up, Meg? Yeah, we back. We've been busy, man. We've been busy. Meg had her birthday. Happy belated birthday to you,
Oh,
Happy
Meg.
thank you.
birthday.
Thank you.
She
Appreciate it.
was gone. She was out, in the tropics for the draft. Um, so
In the tropics is wild.
yeah, she was out in the tropics for the draft. Boom got some booming news. Um,
Business is booming.
business is booming for Boom. Chip is finally back. Chip be traveling like crazy.
I'm just trying
He's
to. I'm just
finally
trying to be
back.
like Chip when I grow up. That's all.
And then me and Kev, we just been we've been in the cut, low key, just doing our thing. But first, let's get over here to Boom real quick, because Boom, business is booming for you right now, dog. Um,
Let's go. Triple B. Big
hey,
baller boom.
let everybody know what happened to you, man.
I ain't even gonna lie, man. I thought I was like, man, you know what? This gonna die down. People gonna forget about it. No, they gonna forget about it. Then I heard Meg say, "Yeah, we gotta talk about Boom getting that money." Nah, honestly, man, I was just out, seeing the tweet from him, and literally, when I tell you, I was just looking at, I had got on Bleacher Report, and I was just looking at the draft board, who else was available, and literally, I was just strolling, and I said, "Oh, here goes this kid. Just I'll pick him and throw him in there." And when I tell you, like, when I was sitting there and I saw the name come across my phone, I said, that name looked familiar. And I got back on Twitter. I was like, oh shit. Like, I was sitting there like, whoa. And I started looking through the tweets. I'm like, did anybody else say something? Did anybody else say something? And I ain't see nothing. And I just started seeing people say, tagging me saying he got it first. And I'm like, yo. And then Jim Irsay tweeted my name on it. And I was like, yo, this is real. Okay.
Boom from the logo.
So I swear, hey, I felt like Curry with it. When I seen the name, I felt like Curry. Like, I just shot it and then I turned away and I had a mean face looking like, yeah, I did that. I did that.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's worth throwing your mouth guard in the stands for. Boom. Oh yeah.
Right?
yeah.
Thanks.
You
Nah,
gonna take
that's
off the
that's
Who was
jersey
it?
and
Who
throw it in
was
the
it this year?
stands?
It was
that's
Dejon
Stephon Diggs
Johnson.
type. That's Stephon Diggs. Throw the helmet away. Just throw it.
That's
And then
that's who it
look up.
was this year. Dejon Johnson was drafted by the Rams from Toledo, defensive end.
That's
That's
Mr.
the name
Irrelevant
Boom
right
throughout
there.
there. I don't know how you throw that name out there.
Bro,
It just,
He told you he just picked it
bro,
I
randomly.
know, but
I
I'm just
literally just looked at the draft board. I
He
literally
was
just
like,
looked at the
he was like,
draft board and
this
I just
seems
started
good.
scrolling. I just started scrolling and I'm like, probably it'd be this kid. I just copied and pasted his name on there and was like, if I
Looks
win, I win.
okay.
If I don't, I don't. Like, usually I don't win it. So I'm like, I just throw it out there. So, but when I seen the name come across, I just like, yo.
Did you see this
hey
comment from
Jay
Justin?
already telling you, hey, let me hold some.
Justin's like, put
Hey,
me on, man.
man, hey, look, if I ain't have to worry about taxes, I definitely be looking out. But I gotta make sure I pay these taxes on it, and I still gotta hold some money. I'm gonna spend a little bit, but a majority of it I'm still put away.
Nah, man,
Do some things with.
Tell Ursay to pay them taxes for you, dog.
On
Send
God,
you
hey, he
the
need to
full
though.
10,000.
He need to. Might as well. I mean, that was
I
a
mean, he
shot
get
in the
a tax
dark.
write off on it anyway. It's charity, right? It's a
Oh,
giveaway.
hey, like for real,
That's why it's
Like I
taking
think
4 weeks or for you to get it or however.
for
It's like,
yeah, I'm like, man, when they said 4 to 5 weeks, I was just like, man. But I wasn't tripping, it's a blessing, and what
Facts.
what we tend to forget also is that I'm getting the Anthony Richardson signed jersey. So
Yeah.
That too. That too.
I gotta make
Ooh.
sure I go ahead and frame that and put it up in my house, something to have, later down the road. It might be expensive, in the next 10 to 15 years. So
And that's
We never know.
a good segue, man. That's a good segue. Anthony Richardson. Oh man, Colts NFL draft, take him number 4 overall.
Ooh.
Listen, I want to get y'all's thoughts on this draft, especially the number 4 pick. But I'm gonna just tell y'all this, right? So I'm sitting here, I'm at my computer during the draft, right? And I'm doing a like a draft watch party with some people off of Twitter and everything. Shout out to them. We all in here on the draft watch party. I'm drinking because I'm nervous. And it's like I'm about to get picked, right? It's like they about to call my name. I'm nervous as hell over here. And so it gets to number 4. And they're like, everybody shut up, don't say nothing, let C. Lou see it himself. Let him see it himself. I text, I'm like, man, my hand is shaking. My hand is shaking. And I sent my girl a video of me, like my hand hovering over my mouse and my hands just shaking, just trembling. And I'm like, bruh, like my nerves were on 100, dog. And then as soon as they called the name, I threw off my headset, started yelling. I'm pretty sure, the whole complex heard me. I'm just like, let's fucking go. Let's go. Just happy as hell.
Hey, I was right there
Just
with
happy
you.
as hell, man. So how did y'all feel about the Colts taking Anthony Richardson at number 4?
So I want to piggyback off of you. So I was traveling. I was in Punta Cana for the draft, and
She was in the tropics, man.
yeah, I was in Punta Cana for the draft, and I'm not gonna lie, I had been searching for a live stream of the draft because every possible channel at the hotel was like anything but NFL Network, anything but ABC, like just you name it, the hotel had it, but those channels. So I'm like, so then I'm trying to I have YouTube TV at home, trying to watch YouTube TV. YouTube TV is like, hey, you're not even at home. You're not even in the country. This is only available for the United States. Like, you tried it. So literally, the only way I was able to follow the draft for that first day was through my notifications that I have turned on. So I'm like, oh, great, wonderful. Like, this is going to be great. I can't watch this live. So I'm sitting there chilling. We're outside. We're about to watch this is how you know that I was traveling with a bunch of folks who don't follow the NFL draft like that, because they're like, oh, let's go get drinks. Let's go to dinner. Let's go watch this live show afterwards. And meanwhile, I'm like, y'all, the draft starts in 15 minutes. Like, what are we talking about here? So I'm watching these notifications come through or whatever. And I'm like, you know how you see something and you're like, you read it out loud, but your brain doesn't really register like what you're reading. So I'm like, with the number 4 pick, the Indianapolis Colts select, and I'm like, Anthony Richardson? Like, I'm repeating it out loud to myself.
Like looking around for the prankster. Like
honestly, because the thing is, like, I think we talked about this, we've been talking about it for months now, but it feels like all the things I've been saying about the Colts not moving up, sitting where they wanted to, getting their guy, like, people were asking, hey, do you think Chris Ballard would actually move? And I'm like, he's more likely to sit. He's actually more likely to trade back if you really want to be honest. And so, like, the fact that they were able to sit and grab him was great. It also was a realization that Will Levis would not be our quarterback. So that was like I think the other part of this realization when I read this, and I was like, okay, so they actually they did it. They really did it. So I think my first reaction was disbelief, and then it kind of set in for me after that. But definitely a disbelief that they actually were able to get a guy that they were really high on, had been high on, and been scouting for the better part of 2 years, and pretty much fall right into their lap. They had a lot of luck, pun intended, happen to they had a lot of luck go down in order for that to happen. So.
So
better you than me.
Meg, this would be a great place to give a shout out to a VPN company that wants to sponsor our podcast, because you can watch that stuff live if you use a VPN and IP spoof from the US, because I had to do the same thing, so if one of those unnamed companies says they don't sponsor us yet, we're not going to give you a plug. If you want to sponsor us, we'll be happy to plug you.
So you heard that, right? Like that was Chip's casual. Like, when I'm out gallivanting the world, I usually have to use a VPN if I want to watch any coverage. Like,
but what's crazy too is that finding out that Anthony Richardson was the guy all along. Like Chris Ballard knew like a month ago. He knew back in March that this was the guy that he was going to get. Like this. Hey man, I understand, GMs can say whatever they want after the draft and it could be gospel, right? Like it could be taken either with a grain of salt or it could be legit what happened. But I really think that they really were on Anthony Richardson the whole time. I mean, this is who they really wanted. Yes, they did their due diligence on everybody else, but Anthony Richardson was the guy that they really wanted. And you could tell in the excitement that they had when it was the Texans that jumped ahead of us rather than like the Raiders or the Titans. So, I thought that was pretty dope. But Chip, Kev, Boom, how did y'all feel about this draft pick, man?
Go ahead. Oh, all right. So from Chris Ballard's perspective, first off, I am glad. I said before the draft, I want to see him target somebody and then go get him and hang your draft on a high draft pick for a quarterback. From that perspective, I don't even so much care if it works out or not. He had the player, he targeted it, he went and got him, and I'm really happy to see that. Now, having said that, the more you get to know Anthony Richardson, how can you not like the kid? I mean, you want nothing but absolute success from this guy, and I'm really excited to see what he's going to do.
Yeah, the more he talks, the more they interview him, the more stuff that I understand it's all PR, right? Like it's PR stuff that they're putting out about him. But the fact is, and actually, I don't even know if you can call it PR because it's stuff that he's actually doing. Like he's actually doing these things. Like I think I don't know the dude's name, but there's a Twitter guy that covers or a podcaster that covers the Colts or whatever. But he was talking about how Anthony Richardson had stayed behind and helped clean up after the rookies symposium or whatever they were doing. I'm probably screwing up everything, but whatever they were doing, he stayed and helped them clean up because he was like, we destroyed this place. We should be the ones cleaning it up. And he helped the servers and all of that clean up the plates and like until that place was spotless. And then he left. And even they told him like, you don't have to stay here and do this. And he was like, nah, I do. Like, I want to. And he did it. So, I mean, it's just like the more you get to know him and the more that comes out about him, it's like, I mean, I know a couple of people that don't really like him or they don't like any of the stuff that comes about him. But, that's neither here nor there.
They don't have a vested interest in that, though.
Yeah. But the more that comes, just you may not even like him as the football player, but just his character and him as a person. Like he seems like a genuine person.
You know that Chris Ballard is really high on character, right? Like that's the first thing that he looks at whenever he drafts guys. Like it's not. I mean, forget the physical traits or the tools that you got. Like, are you a good person? Like, can we hang our hat on you and your morals and what you stand for? And I'll say this: I would even argue that it's not just PR. Like, Anthony Richardson has been Anthony Richardson in every single spot that I've seen him. Like, whether it's small clips, long clips, whatever it is, like you get the same vibe from him every single time. I would say that he's super aware of himself as well. Like he knows his limitations, right? And he's able to speak to that in a way that doesn't necessarily feel like, okay, this kid's in over his head, right? And I think that the Colts knew that, but they also, I think, drafted him just for all the vibes, really. I mean, I hate to say like, hey, the vibes are immaculate, but that's basically what, like, the vibes are immaculate with this kid. And I think that Colts Nation is really going to love him. From that standpoint, gives me a lot of, and I don't want to compare him this is the best example I have. Gives me a lot of the vibes that Luck had when Luck was drafted. People just loved his kind of happy-go-lucky, kind of
loved his energy and everything.
Yeah, he was always himself, and you appreciated that about him, right? Like, and no matter what, in what way he was presented, and I think that
AR just seems like a big old kid. Just a big old kid.
He's
20.
He's about to turn 21, so he's about to be legal here in a couple of weeks, and he's still got that boyish kind of charm about him, but it's in the best way possible.
And James is AR5 now. No more AR15. AR5.
AR5,
yeah. I know. I gave him a hard time for carrying a football everywhere. I know Meg, I kind of gave him a hard time for that on Tuesday, but I've seen the light. I've come around. It's been a long 2 days since then, and I am buying in.
You gave him crap for what?
I gave him a hard time for carrying the football everywhere. I thought that was one step too far. Where I was like, "All right, man, come on. What you don't need to do all of that."
Listen, Kev.
But I'm back now. I'm on board. I'm
Kev,
fully invested.
hater,
Both feet.
If you're
no,
a hater,
Kev, listen. That's a real thing though. Like that's a real thing. Carrying the football around, like when I was in college, we used to do the same thing. Like a couple of us, like we'd carry a football around, whatever, throw it around while we're in like the cafeteria, stuff like that. Like that's a real thing. Like, so I loved it. That just lets me know he loves football. Like he loves the game of football.
Yeah. And it's I am excited with everything that I've seen. And I was in a similar situation as you, Silu. I was stuck on a live stream, and our boys had this great idea. Whenever your team was up, you got put front and center on a StreamYard situation like this. Everyone else got put to the side, and they just sat and watched you sweat. So, of course, I had to go first. So I'm just sitting here, like no whammies, no Will Levis, no Will Levis. And, we got it. And so then I had the advantage of sitting next to Titans fans who then got to be there when they did get Will Levis, but we're not here to talk about that today. So I will hand it to Boom. I don't think we've gotten Boom's reaction to the pick yet.
Gary's big baller Boom over there. He was not even worried about none of that.
It's like, wait, what pick? No.
Nah, man, I was kind of like CeeLo. I was sitting there low key shaking. Like, I'm like, man, come on. Like, this is like some culture changing type of stuff that's going on, to go from having 5 to 6 different quarterbacks the past couple of years to finally landing a potential franchise quarterback. Like, let's be real here. The last 2 quarterbacks that we've drafted, in the top 5 have been some very generational talents. So, that puts him up there with them. And, honestly, I feel like this was the right pick because it changes the dynamics of what we've seen in our quarterback room. We haven't. I mean, I know Andrew was athletic, but Anthony is like, he's an alien. He really gets out there and he does his thing. I remember seeing him probably, I want to say this was maybe his freshman year, maybe sophomore, when he had came in for what's the name, Emory Jones, and he just dominated. And they was like, oh, this is going to lead to some quarterback controversy. And at the time, I was like, man, this kid is out there killing, because he was. And then, just to see how he handled everything last year with, having a new offensive coordinator, and all that, it was like, he's young, first year starting. Hey, things happen. It comes with the territory. But to see how he reacted when he got picked and how he just, reacted afterwards, and hearing him in interviews and things like that, to even seeing him when he first strolled out onto the field, it was a really good feeling to have a quarterback that is, uplifting and ready to really go out there and learn, and not just learn, but want to take over the game. Because, I mean, he has that athletic ability. We just have to work it into him. And I feel like Shane and the coaching staff is really going to be able to, get him in that room and really get those gears and those wheels turning and get him out there doing some really good things. So I expect, it might be crazy, but I expect this team to, be in the double digits and win.
First season? Woof.
First season? That's great.
Woof. See, listen, that's what happens. You get a little money, you start getting confident. You're like, yeah, give me them double digits.
So I don't know
this offense could. What's that?
Oh no, go ahead, Chip. Go ahead.
This offense could be really exciting. It's a really young offense, and you look down at the rest of the draft. Y'all can join me over here in the draft homer corner, because I think Ballard nailed this draft. Got some weapons for the offense, some stuff to build around, and they may be inconsistent. They may not be always fantastic, but they're going to have the potential to be really entertaining next season.
So that's, I want to give myself a pat on the back real quick for that, because I feel like I was in the war room with them. I was in the draft room with them, because I swear to God, and y'all all follow me on Twitter. Y'all have seen it. Like, I swear, I would throw out a name or be like, okay, I just want us to get either this guy or this guy, which was Rush and Jalen Jones. I'm like, I just want to get either him or him. We got both of them. Like,
you were like both. 3 in a row in the third round, I think, something like that.
Yeah, because I said Blake Freeland, Double A, not Julius Brents, but Darius Rush. We got all 3 in the third round, or the fourth and what was it? We got Double A and Freeland in the fourth round, and then we got Darius Rush in the 5th round. And I was like, I want Darius Rush or Jalen Jones. Just give me one of them, and I'm good. We got both of them. I said something about Double A. We got Double A. Said something about y'all knew I wanted Julius Brents. I think we all wanted Julius Brents because he's a homegrown kid. We got Julius Brents. Josh Downs, I wanted him, but again, it was one of those picks that was like, hold on, Ballard really took him? Like,
listen. All right, so how I've been beating the drum for undersized wide receivers for months now, saying like, hey, dude, if you would just step away from your big body guys, like, there's some nice talent here. But I said it like maybe like a week or two ago, like, I didn't even bother putting Josh Downs on the list because I'm like, he's gonna be long gone by the time that we even pick. Like, I'm not even gonna get myself like upset because I just know he's gonna be gone. So I think you saw it when he got drafted. My tweet was like, we got Josh Downs, like Colts got drafted. Like, it was disbelief, the fact that he was still available.
Non-Colts fans were texting me being like, "Oh my God, you guys got Josh Downs." So I was aren't you a Vikings fan?
I don't know if you saw the podcast last night. So me and Drake Wally from Horseshoe Huddle were on Tour de AFC South on Mike Patton's podcast, and Drake said he talked about that big draft guide that Destin and a couple other guys from Horseshoe Huddle like put together. Josh Downs was in that draft guide of like 200 plus players, but it basically said like, hey, he's amazing. He's wonderful. We really think he would be a great fit for the Colts.
He's not coming to Indy.
But he's not coming to Indy. Like, they're not drafting him, basically. But like, he's amazing, and we think he would fit spectacularly, but he's not coming here.
The fact we got him in the 3rd round, which he's projected to go top 50, right? He's projected to go top 50.
Crazy.
We got him in the 3rd round with the 79th pick, while they were trying for 30 minutes to trade up to get him.
Yes. Insane.
Insane.
And he still fell to us. So listen, I'm with you, Chip. Like, I think Ballard did a really good job in this draft. And even at towards the end of the draft, me and a couple people were talking about, okay, we got to at least go right guard somewhere in the draft, right? Like, we got to go right guard. And I was like, Voorhees is still out there. We didn't get Voorhees. And so somebody had commented on it when Voorhees went to the Ravens. And I was like, well, Emil Ekiyor, I'm probably butchering his name, is still out there. And so I was like, he's still out there. We still can get a quality right guard. He goes undrafted and is the first signing for the Colts. Like,
they probably had him on speed dial. Soon as the draft,
immediately,
because it wasn't, the draft wasn't even over, and he had signed with the Colts. Like, I think it announced that he was coming to the Colts. The draft wasn't even over, and I think it was after our last pick though, and then we immediately signed him. And that
would have called him up immediately
because he was projected to go in the 4th or 5th round, and then he slid because I guess there was some injury stuff that people were concerned with at the combine, his knee or something like that. Yeah. But man, if he holds up, like if health is good and he holds up, listen, we're good on that right side of the line. Especially Blake Freeland can play left or right. Mm-hmm. You said what, Boom?
I said this will be a sick draft if he sticks.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but the draft was great. Like I enjoyed the draft, not only because I got a lot of players that I wanted. I feel like Chris Ballard finally listened to me, or like he checked my Twitter that morning or something, and he was like, all right, C. Lou might know what he's talking about a little bit. These are all players on our board. Let's just go get them. Maybe, I don't know what it was, right? We just had a connection. Maybe it's the Chris and Chris connection. I don't know. I really don't know. But the fact that we got all of those dudes, and then we have a wealth of talent at tackle, like just a wealth of talent at offensive tackle. You got Blake Freeland. We still got Bernhard Raymond. You still got Braden Smith. Then we get the Witt guy towards the end of the draft.
Jake Witt. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jake Witt. Then we get, which all of these dudes are former tight ends. That's just crazy to me too. But they like athletic players. Then we get LaChance, which is the other tackle that played with Blake Freeland at BYU.
Yes.
And I don't know, man. I'm excited. Like, I think we had a really good draft. I would assume all of us believe that as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And is this a bit of a philosophical change for Ballard? And if so, are we going to have to come up with an antonym for beef with Ballard for when we need to give him credit for doing things we like?
Credit to Chris.
There you go.
No, I mean, that's a fair point though, because I feel like with 12 picks, when I first saw that, like that we had 12 picks, I was like, okay, there's no way like we're going to be able to get quote unquote quality picks for all 12 picks, right? I think though we did a really great job. Let me say this. I was hype at the Richardson pick. I was like, okay, cool. But then you traded back twice and you still got Julius Brents. Like, I was through the roof because Brents was on my radar and Keely Ringo was the other guy who I was like, all right, either one of these guys in the second, I would be thrilled with. Like, really, I thought Keely Ringo might be the guy because I figured somebody was going to snatch Julius Brents like immediately, especially after he tore up the combine. Super explosive athlete. The tape is phenomenal too when you turn it on. And yeah, I just didn't get my hopes up because I was like, okay, which one do I think is more likely to happen? Like probably Keely Ringo. So let me just go for that. So the fact that like they were like, oh no, we're gonna go get Brent's hometown kid. And what I will say this, one of the most underrated parts of this draft class was all of their like welcome to Indy videos. They were phenomenal, like make you want to run through a brick wall, like sort of
especially Josh Downs.
Yeah.
All the feels.
Downs. By far the best video.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that's just throughout the whole draft. I don't think any player had a video like him.
That had me out in the backyard running routes like it was the old days again.
and the fact that Reggie Wayne was pounding the table for Josh Downs, that makes me happy.
Well, and you gotta think about this too. Like Josh Downs, I think is probably going to end up being your T.Y. Hilton replacement, right? Like you haven't really seen that sort of wide receiver, smaller body can cut up the field like that in so long, right? You've been trying to hope and pray that you could get it out of Paris Campbell, which you didn't really get it. There was no one else on the roster who could do it. So now that you have Josh Downs, by the way, who was also drafted in the third round like T.Y. Hilton, I think you're going to see that play out really nicely. And the fact that Anthony Richardson and him are already forming a bond, I think is great. Also, one of the underrated parts that's coming out of rookie minicamp was the fact that Josh Downs' catch radius is like astronomical. Catches just about everything that goes his way, which is music to anybody's ears.
But when you turn on his tape, you see that. Brandon Stokely?
I was getting Brandon Stokely vibes.
Okay. Yeah, I could see that.
But when you turn on Josh Downs' tape, you see like his catch radius is crazy. And I always talk about how even though he's 5'9", he plays like he's Quentin Johnston size, and Quentin Johnston plays like he's Josh Downs size. Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you see it in his tape. It's crazy.
It's a hell of a pick, I think. And I mean, even if you continue to go through the draft, like all three corners was insane to me. But I love it. I think the other pick that is interesting, as we talked about this last night too, was the Will Mallory pick. Yep. Crazy speed for a tight end, but Ballard loves his athletes. And it's interesting because one of the questions posed this week was like, okay, well, Colts already have like so many tight ends. Like, what are you going to do at tight end? And I'm like, well, Mo Alley Cox can still get traded. Somebody's going to be a roster bubble guy. It could be Kylan Granson because, hey, they haven't really utilized him as much as they should. And I'm not even quite sure that he even fits in the offense anymore. So that might be a possibility. Obviously, Pharaoh Brown was signed, but I think he could probably likely be a cut, as well. You don't know what you have in Drew Ogletree, and you've been missing the blocking abilities of Jack Doyle now for a while. So I was thrilled with the Mallory pick, and I figured they might draft a tight end, although I thought it might be Payne Durham. But I'm not mad at that pick at all. I don't think that there was a wasted pick at all. Although I will say the Titus Leo pick threw me for a loop just a little bit. Just a little bit.
That pick was weird.
I don't think it was a wasted pick. It was just I need somebody to explain this to me sort of pick.
Yeah.
You know what? I've looked at he doesn't have enough video for me to see, but some of the stuff I've seen, I mean, he's quick twitchy. And I think one thing that Chris was trying to get was more speed on the field. Because let's be real, our DNs just haven't produced that speed effect. And it's not even them drafting, Josh Downs and, just getting, players like, Juju Brents. I mean, you want to add some athleticism to the field because we've been looking very sluggish out there the past year or two. And I feel like that Titus Leo, he's, of course, coming out. I think he's going to be a special teams guy. But I feel like he's going to be able to – I think they're going to try to mold him into a defensive end.
So Titus Leo played corner, he played defense, and then he played linebacker. He's played a whole gambit of things. And I mean, I think that's one of the things they probably like about him too is his versatility, right? Like he can do a lot of different things. And even if not going out there on an island at corner, specifically, but even line up in the slot maybe a little bit to guard tight ends. So I think that he gives us a little versatility. But I mean, of course, he's probably going to be a special teams guy. That's what he's going to start out as. And then he'll work his way up the roster, hopefully. But I wanted to touch on what you were saying, Meg, about Will Mallory. I love the pick because he's a Hurricane. So, I got a Hurricane on my, my favorite team. So I love the pick. Also, he's very reliable, and he can play inline. He can line up in the slot. He can line up outside. He can give you a lot of different things from the tight end position the same things you can get from Colin Granson, and he's a better blocker. So, I mean, he does make Colin Granson kind of expendable at this point, and even Mo Alley Cox expendable at this point. And that's all depending on how Ogletree comes back too. So, I really like the pick. I had a couple mock drafts with Will Mallory in there. I'm surprised we took him though, because I really didn't think we were going to go there. But I like it. I like the pick. I think one of the picks that surprised me as well, not only the Titus Leo, but Evan Hull. Yeah. I felt like there was a couple more running backs on the board that we could have went, but instead we got him.
Evan Hull had a good Senior Bowl, so Ballard
loves a good Senior Bowl,
guys.
and he's a Ballard type running back.
Right.
And the combine.
That's what I was just about to say.
The goal line every time.
Every drill, he was running to the end zone. Every single drill. Like, that is a motor on a kid. So,
and he can catch. His catching ability isn't bad. So he provides us a little bit more versatility at the running back position as well, especially with Shane Steichen, which we had a running back like that, and Naheem Hines. He just was never used. So
thank you for that, Kane.
Now we bring one back.
Miss you.
So do you think he's going to take Deion Jackson's spot?
Somebody getting cut. So, the thing is, so Zach Moss got paid, Deion Jackson got paid, but somebody's getting cut. Like, there's no way you could draft Evan, and then you're not going to keep four like that. I think it's probably Deion Jackson if I had to guess, because Zach Moss actually turned it on pretty nicely towards the end of the season. And I think that they like what they have in him. I would say this for Evan Hull, I think he would be a really nice 1-2 punch with JT.
He's a great complimentary back.
I was gonna say I think that's what they're banking on. Plus, I mean, I want to see him succeed because the Incredible Hole is such a great nickname that I want to say it all the time this season.
Listen, we got first downs for Josh Downs, touchdowns for Josh Downs, and now we got the Incredible Hole.
I love it. Yeah. I love it.
Well, I guess
So what you're saying is you want to see him score a touchdown on the Titans and call them puny gods.
Yes.
I want to see Evan Hull succeed. Yes, that is the goal. Plus, I y'all know I love a good pun, and with Nyheim Hines gone, I couldn't say Duncan Hines anymore. Like I was really disappointed here. So the fact that we have Incredible Hull, I'm like, yes, let's do it. I need all my puns back.
quick question. What about if we, in the preseason, we have Incredible Hull and Yosemite Sam in that backfield?
Oh my gosh!
Ooh.
Boom,
Oh my
boom,
God.
please.
Behind the,
Please.
do we still have French and Fries? Are they
Oh
both
my
going to be
God.
on the
Yes.
preseason O-line?
Oh my gosh! Oh
I
my
can
gosh!
see the
I just
memes
knew
coming.
you were about to say that. How did I know that?
Got Yosemite
Hey, but just
Sam, Incredible Hull, French and Fries. It's gonna be a wild
listen,
preseason.
man. It's gonna be a wild preseason, and just also listen, man. Imagine the backfield with AR and Jonathan Taylor.
Pick your poison.
Pick your poison. It'll be
That-
nasty. But speaking of the season, today was the schedule drop. It was the schedule drop, and the Colts pissed me off a little bit. I ain't gonna lie,
Same.
they pissed me off a little bit. I seen everybody on Twitter being petty as hell. Every team being petty as hell with this, this season or the schedule drop, and the coach just silent, not doing nothing. I'm like, bruh, like, can we have a little fun with this? And then once the schedule dropped, they put out Buckner and Grover Stewart eating the schedule. I didn't even watch that. I haven't watched
Wow,
it.
you should have because it's hilarious.
Okay, I'm gonna watch it, but
Yeah,
I
I'll watch
haven't watched it yet.
'Cause I
You
didn't
should
see-
have. You should have. I mean, but that's come on now. That's pretty on brand for our Colts like content team.
I mean,
Like,
it
and that's not
is,
a,
but
it's
it
not a
just
slight
makes-
to them. It's just you kind of know what to expect. Like, they're not going to be like the Panthers content team or like the Chargers or the Cardinals
Or
or,
the
anything
Cardinals,
else like that.
yeah.
Like, you just kind of know. Like, if they were, I mean, I would be here for it because I kind of like the chaos. But I kind of knew that they would stay like kind of in their lane and do something on brand.
Y'all know the little the SpongeBob video where Squidward is looking out the window, looking
Yes.
at SpongeBob and Patrick having fun.
Yeah.
I posted that today, and I said me watching every team besides the Colts be petty on Twitter today, and that was me because I'm just like, that's funny, but I'm mad.
I mean, listen, what you should be mad at is the fact that, well, maybe I'm not mad in hindsight, but the Colts have zero primetime games.
I'm not
That
mad
could
about
happen
that,
when you
though.
Punishment
win
fits the
4
crime.
games, Meg.
Yep,
I
thank
know,
you,
that's why I'm
Chip.
like, I'm not really
But
mad.
no, listen, Chip, the Broncos were ass, and they have primetime games.
Pure cheats. Pure cheats.
Aaron Rodgers is
Well,
gone.
All right, let me go farther.
Like,
That's what
talk about-
happens when you completely screw the pooch when they give you primetime games. Cowboys,
To be fair, though, if I had to watch another Colts Broncos type of game in primetime,
my
Man,
eyes are still bleeding.
listen, I would have flown to the game myself then and said, just cut this off. Like, please.
I think that game alone was the reason why we didn't get any.
You might be right, honestly. Like between
But
that game,
again, the
and the
Broncos
Cowboys game.
had a game. The Broncos got games.
but it's Russell Wilson. Like that's the main Russell
He's
Wilson,
not-
Sean
never mind.
Payton.
John Payton.
He's
Sean
ass.
Payton.
I,
Russell
I
Wilson
don't
is
care if he's
ass.
terrible or not. I'm just letting you know, like, why Russell Wilson, Sean Payton is 2 reasons right there while you're getting
It's
prime
real-
time.
A Broncos D tackle screaming at Russ Wilson's face on the sideline is must-see television, and that's why the Broncos get at least one primetime game.
I mean, because you know it's gonna happen at some point. Like it's
But-
probably gonna happen.
But
But
hold
I'm not
on.
mad that we didn't get primetime games. We allow our young quarterback to grow in silence. I love
I mean, we have nine 1:00 games. So by the time that
And-
anybody sees these games, they will be done.
And our
Exactly.
young quarterback gets 4 division games in the first 6 weeks. Thanks, NFL.
yeah, 2 years in
Yeah.
a row.
Yeah.
By
Two
the
years in a
way,
row.
Well, no,
Like,
remember last year it was worse because it was like we was damn near finished with our division by week 7.
yeah.
It's crazy.
We only had the last game against the Texans at the end of the season.
Yeah.
But still, though, who comes up with this though? Because I'm like, that is brutal. It's completely brutal because
It
we were
is.
the only ones in the division with a schedule like that. Like
Mhm.
everyone else has their games like kind of split, and they were like, you know what, Colts,
Yeah.
here, take this. Like,
Although this year it might work for us because last year it bummed me out because I felt like we were the more talented team, and then we got to play teams and we weren't ready because the shortened preseason, our starters aren't out there. This year it's kind of weird on the other side of the coin, and so now the Colts might, be able to steal one against Jacksonville week 1 because they're not as prepared, even though they might be the better team 1 through 53. Like we might. So when I first saw it, I was like, thanks a lot, NFL, scheduling czar, whatever, if you call yourself that. But, but now I'm kind of like, okay, well, maybe this works for us. But no, I'm very frustrated at the number of division games in the first 6 weeks. But after that, it doesn't get so bad.
I mean, at least you don't start the season in Jacksonville. It's Jacksonville at home, so you might actually win that
it's
game.
Jacksonville at home. So let's look at the schedule, right? So we got the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, September 10th. Houston Texans in Houston, September 17th. Maybe Josh Downs can go out there. I mean, he is, kind of like, Ghost reincarnated, T.Y. Hilton reincarnated, both 5'9", about 170, 180. Yeah, I don't know. NRG might be in for something, but we go down to Houston, then we go to Baltimore, September 24th. The Rams come to us, Titans come to us. Then we're in Jacksonville, week 6. I mean, but hey, Anthony Richardson, he's from Miami, played football in Gainesville. He worked out in Duval.
Build that storyline. Go ahead, build it.
The curse might change. The curse might change here right now. Who knows? But then we got Cleveland at Lucas Oil, New Orleans at Lucas Oil. We go to Carolina, Frank Wright, get to see him again. We're in Germany playing the Patriots. Then we have our bye week 11. Tampa Bay Bucks come to us. Tennessee, we're in Tennessee for that one. Week 13. Cincinnati, we're there for week 14. Pittsburgh Steelers, Atlanta Falcons, Las Vegas Raiders, and Houston Texans to end the season once again. Could we be playing for a pick at that point against the Houston Texans we were this year?
What's your like reasonable take on, and I do mean reasonable, what's your reasonable take on the Colts this season?
I really don't expect us to do much. Especially if we're starting Anthony Richardson this year. To me, it's a developmental year. We got really young in the draft. We turned the cornerback position to one of our worst positions to the position that has the most depth. Like offensive tackle has hella depth, and they're all young. Bernhard Raymond, he put on 17 pounds this offseason. So that might be a good look for us at left tackle for real. But we got really young in this draft, and I think it's going to be some growing pains. So reasonably, I think we'll probably go somewhere around like 6-11.
Okay, good. I taught you well.
I honestly don't see us winning double-digit games this year. I don't see us winning double-digit games. I mean, we could be anywhere between 6-11, 9-8. That's where I really see that we're at.
Ooh, you took mine.
Oh, 9-8?
No, but that's my range right there. It's a very nice range, by the way. You have between 6 wins and 9 wins. That's where I'm at.
I'm at 6 wins for them. That's what I could see reasonably happening. I mean, if we just happen to have I'll say this, a really better season, maybe 8 games, like we come away with 8.
And I don't think AR is he's not as far off as I originally thought. And I honestly think he needs reps. Like, I think that is the big thing for him is reps and being consistent in those reps. I really think that's what he needs. I don't think he needs to sit. And at first I was like, yeah, he needs to go back to college. He needs to sit at least a year. He's a 2-year project, whatever. But going back and looking at some of his games and looking at a lot of the things that he does at 20, he just needs reps. He just needs a lot of reps. That's it. Because he does a lot of good things already. A lot of things that you can't necessarily teach. So I think 6 and 9 wins.
So with that being said, do you guys feel like he needs to play a lot in the preseason? Not that first drive and out, second drive and out, and then the third preseason game he's not really playing at all?
I would say
Yes.
give him the preseason reps, like, just let
Mhm.
him
Yeah.
out there and fly. Because the thing is, like, we've been saying, and I think Chris has been saying it for a while, so is reps, 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 and patience for him. And the thing is, if you want, even if you don't throw him out there week 1, let's say that you don't do that, you don't feel comfortable with him, you still need to get him live game reps, right? And I think for him, what will determine whether or not we see him week 1 is, 1, how he does obviously during training camp, how he does during the preseason. They could very much, hey, send him out there and let him fly. But I think for him, it's very much how can he absorb? Is he go? I mean, these NFL defenses are a lot faster than a lot of the defenses he's seen. He can be fooled with coverages, things like that. So obviously, like so far, he's looked about how you thought he would in like the rookie mini camp. Like there's been nothing where I was like, okay, no, he's like blown the doors off. No, but in order to get to the point where he's playing at a franchise quarterback level, you've got to get him reps. And that comes with preseason games if you believe in and getting them those reps. And then you make the decision from there whether or not you're going to see him. But I've always said like plus or minus 6 games. Like I think by game 6 you're going to see him out there. If you already haven't, like they're not going to let him sit, and it's not going to be like week 15 and we're just now seeing Richardson. I don't think so.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning led the Colts to a 13-3 record in his second season, and he did that because he was out there the first season taking his lumps, leading the team to a 3-13 record.
Leading the league in
I'm in the
interceptions.
camp that I'd much rather see Richardson on the field.
Yep.
Take the lumps, get the experience, and grow.
Yeah.
And see, one of the things too is I think Richardson has even said like I need reps. Like I need to be on the field playing in games. That's how I'm going to learn. And I mean, as a competitor, I understand like you just want to be on the field. But if somebody is telling you like, hey, this is how I learn, this is the best way for me to learn and get what you're trying to tell me. I mean, because he's a smart kid. From everything I've seen, like he's been in the playbook, he's been doing different things. Jim Bob said he was picking up things, in camp and rookie mini camp and everything. But being out there on the field, there's nothing better than game reps. I mean, me playing football, as long as I like all the way through college and everything, it's one thing to do stuff in practice or like write stuff on the board, but actually getting out there against other teams that don't know what you're doing and they don't care about your well-being. And getting that live game action, it's nothing like that. And I think that's what he needs. I mean, he got it his last year in college, and even throughout the season, you saw him grow. Even within games, you saw him grow. From first quarter to fourth quarter, you saw him grow in those games. And there may be a play where he missed something in the first quarter. They go back to that play in the third, he hits what he missed. So you saw the growth within games. You saw the growth within the season. And I like Chip said, go out there, let him take his lumps. I mean, Peyton, through 28 interceptions his rookie year or something like that, has the record at this point.
Yep.
So let him go out there, get his lumps, and who knows what happens second season. Second season, you may see a sophomore jump rather than a sophomore slump.
Hold on, I don't. Now what is that? A rookie record or actual record? Because I think Jameis has the actual record.
It's the rookie record.
Okay.
Yeah, the 28 is the rookie record. Yeah, Jameis has the record. I think the record. The all-time record. I think Jameis has that.
He's having too much fun.
That
that's
year
all.
He went 30 for 30.
Yeah, that's when he went. That's when he went ESPN on us, 30 for 30.
So, but I honestly, I think the floor is 6 wins. I have them going maybe 10-7. I think they can squeak out a couple of surprise wins. I think Pittsburgh is one, and maybe the New Orleans.
I would love to get my get back against the Ravens. I would absolutely love that. If that was one of them that we could squeak out.
You know what? You know what's crazy? I'm actually surprised that's not a primetime game. Seeing with Lamar and AR, they both have that dynamic. Even though it's a rookie, but there's been comparisons to Lamar.
I
But
mean,
Yeah.
Minshew against Lamar is just not as exciting. You know?
no.
Yeah, I think it's because they don't
That's
know
what I
who the
was thinking.
starter
Yeah,
is.
if it were a
Right.
later week, it might have been like a position to be flexed later on in the schedule.
Like
But since it's
Yeah.
week
the
3,
Steelers game, I think is a flexible game. The Steelers
It
game is a
is.
flexible game because it's a TBD game, and so
Yeah, I
is
Mhm.
think
the Week 17 game
so
or the
is
Week
the
18 game.
Houston
Yeah.
game for some reason.
Let's go. Hey,
We got to
CJ
flex you
Stroud
guys
and
at
Anthony
9
Richardson.
a.m. Or
Hey, listen, if CJ Stroud and Anthony Richardson are both up for Offensive Rookie of the Year, that game's getting flexed to prime time.
you gonna have you got to. You
Yeah.
got to.
Got to. You
got
have to flex that game to prime
Yeah.
time.
I mean, but if it's not, please keep it at like a 1:00 game. It's fine.
Yeah, or if not, yeah, send us overseas for that one too. Get that one over by
Yeah,
noon.
make that a 6:30 a.m. game for the West Coast.
Yeah.
Hey, nah, don't
There's
put that
another-
game on.
Listen, that's another thing
It's
that
gonna be like
sucks.
fireworks like last season's game.
Listen. I was so ready for that game to be done that's all I see. When I saw that in week 18, I almost tossed my phone when I saw that come through, and I was like, oh, this is absolutely like one of those where they were like, yeah, both these teams are going to be so terrible. Why not torture people again? Week 18, it's going down. Like, like I think that had to be the thinking, because there's no way that you saw that Colts Texans game and was like, you know what? Yes, give me more of that.
This is what prime you for the playoffs. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what they was thinking with that. I really don't. Um, but listen, I hate the fact that we're playing the Patriots in Germany.
Yeah.
That's an early game, 6:30 in the morning.
it's fine. You're up
For
anyways.
me.
Yeah, because
For-
I say 6:30 in the morning. Man, I got
For the rest of y'all, that's about 9:30. You know, for
Mhm.
y'all.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's not fine for me.
fuck, bro.
Listen,
that's rough.
it is the season. Any football on at any time is going to be watched by me.
I mean, that is correct. Like, it is the season, so football's on. I'm gonna be up. It just sucks to wake up at 6:30 and still be laying in bed and have to watch the game on my phone because I'm not going to get up to come out and watch it on the TV.
Tell you, it frustrates me that you talk about wanting to get a get back against Baltimore. Listen, I still have PTSD from all those losses to the Patriots, and we finally have a winnable game against a Patriots team we can beat. So naturally, we have to go to Germany to play it. Thank you, NFL, once again for all your favors this year with the schedule.
I mean, you didn't
So it
enjoy
would have been-
that Patriots game last season. That wasn't the stuff of your dreams.
It would have been in Gillette, so at least we're going from an away
Okay.
game to a neutral game.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
true. That's
I'll
true.
take it.
I mean, they
Yeah,
loved
you
you
won't
so
ever.
much, Kev, that they were like, you know what? Neutral game site for Kev and his love of the Patriots.
And you know what was
Yes,
crazy
my
is I
love.
actually was gonna try to go to that game. I was, I'm trying to decide what games I want to go to and everything, and then I realized, like, dang, I can't go to that game. It's in Germany. I mean, I can, but I'm not forking over that kind of money.
Yeah, that's funny. We talking about probably about 5 bands just to go to that game.
Easily.
Yeah.
I mean, because if you're gonna go, you gotta make a trip out of it, right? Like, you can't just go and be like, hey, I'm gonna do a quick 48 hours in Germany. Like, that's not
Yeah,
how
you
this
gotta
works.
make it like a week or something. I'm
Like,
not doing
this is
48
easily
hours in
gotta
Germany.
be a full experience that ends your week, at this Colts Patriots game. So yeah, that's a couple of stacks right there for you to go flight, game, hotel, and
Yep.
gallivanting. But if you're Chip, this is just a regular week at work for you.
Yeah, it's like, or you just stop by in
Regular
between
daily.
jobs. Yeah, depending on
Just
who you are.
he's
No,
like,
Chip,
hey,
you had to know that was
you guys,
coming, Chip.
you guys going to the Colts game tomorrow morning? Yeah, okay, yeah, me too. Cool. I'll
I'm
see you at the
telling
office
you,
afterwards.
I have a feeling Chip is gonna show up in Frankfurt.
No.
I got a feeling. We
This
gonna
is a
look
regular
up.
work week for Chip. He's like, oh, Frankfurt, yeah, we go there, just whenever we feel like it.
Yeah, we're just here. Oh, the Colts are here. Oh, yeah. might as well
Oh, that's
go to the
nice.
game.
Lucky me.
He's like, you guys think we have time to fit in this Colts game on the schedule? Yeah. Oh, okay, cool.
So what games are y'all looking at going to this year? For me personally, because I have a whole itinerary for games I'm going to this year. Not necessarily for the Colts, but just in general, games I'm taking trips to. But I am going to be Lucas Oil, week 1, September 10th,
Ooh.
Jacksonville Jaguars.
Ooh,
I will be there.
Very nice.
All right.
Okay.
Mm.
I've got a cup.
Um,
Oh, go ahead, Meg.
oh,
You got yours?
yeah, I do. I have. So I'm potentially looking at this Texans game that's in Houston. So you guys know I went to one last year. I might have to hit that back up again, potentially. Um, I think beyond that, there's a couple games I could look at. The one that's at Jacksonville in week 6. There is one at Tennessee on the December 3rd. But there is another one, which is Colts Falcons. That is Christmas Eve. It is here in Atlanta. I'd already planned on going to that game anyways, but the fact that it's a Christmas Eve game, my husband earlier was super stoked, and apparently we might have some friends that are gonna go with us like already. So yeah, I think that would be a
Your husband's a
phenomenal.
Falcons fan, right?
He is a Falcons fan,
Yeah.
yes. And just let the record state that the Colts did beat the Falcons the last time that they played, and he had to politely wave a Colts flag in the stands with his Falcon shirt on. So he was none too happy about that. It's friendly bet. Still have the video if you'd like to see it. Just let me know. Uh, but yeah, would not be upset about that game as well. The Benz is a great venue anyway. So yeah, that's going to be a great game. And as he always says, he's not about to let the Falcons ruin his Sunday, which is fine by me. Which means that they're going to play terribly and the Colts will win. So
Book it.
We can definitely take that game. What about
I
you,
mean,
Craig?
you guys are more than welcome to come down to Atlanta to watch his misery. I would be fine with that.
Hey, sounds pretty good. I might put that on my list because I've got a few here that I'm looking at. I not included in our regular season, but I may actually attend the preseason game against the Bears this year. A buddy of mine over at Bite Size Network lives in Indy and is a Bears fan. My dad and brother are diehard Bears fans, so we may be getting something together for that. I'm also looking at week 1, so Silu, I'll keep you. I'll reach out to you if I end up over there, but. Because one of my guys, don't kill me for this one, but one of my closest friends is actually a Titans fan who lives in Indiana. I don't know how that happened, but I'm looking at week 5 and week 13, probably week 5, so that way we can go and trash talk each other and spend a little less money on travel. But if you have to twist my arm to go to Nashville for a weekend, I'll probably let you do it. Other than that, I'm looking at, my family's in Indiana, so I'm looking at that the 26th versus Tampa, week 12. That's right around Thanksgiving. I might be only an hour away from Indy, so I might go catch that one. And you know what? If I've had a good enough year, I might go down to Carolina and just scream obscenities at Frank Reich for 2 hours in the most polite, friendly way. So there's my list, guys.
Hey, I do want to say this. We do actually have 2 primetime games. They just happen to not be in the regular season. Preseason, we play the Chicago Bears at 7 p.m. and then we play the Philadelphia Eagles at 8 p.m. on Amazon, Prime. So we do have 2, at least 2.
That was smart. Give us prime time when we know AR is going to play, right?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
We're going to see Yosemite Sam out there on those.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. He going to be out there wilding. Yes. Get Yosemite Sam out there. He's
so,
going
Boom,
live
which games y'all
Prime.
looking at?
I think that Jacksonville game, I definitely want to go to that. Definitely want to go to the Tennessee game here. Just to, if I see, I might just sit on the Titan sideline just to yell at Will Levis like,
oh no,
damn, bro, like you could have been here. No, you couldn't have. We didn't want you.
Oh my God.
I think those 2 games definitely I do want to go to. Like I said, Jacksonville, I just don't like them. And I want AR just to go off. I mean, first game of the season. Let's go. They're not going to expect anything coming from him. I mean, I would say if he starts week 1, the first 5 to 6 weeks is going to be very new to everybody that's going up against him. So they're not going to expect too much. They're not going to get too much film, even though it's a sample size. But like I said, yeah, those 2 games, I definitely want to go to. I might hit up a preseason game, you know, just to go, especially that Chicago game. I know I got some friends that are Bear friends also. Unfortunately, I hate that for them. You know,
It's a
I
tough life.
I send them condolences a lot because that has to actually be like a mental issue. So just to go for the Bears, that has to be painful. So
Yeah, I saw a graphic boom of every franchise's quarterback that had 4,000 plus passing yards in franchise history. Uh, I would give you all 3 guesses to name the Bears quarterback, but no one's ever done it for that franchise, so they're the only one who's never had it. But anyway, sorry, it's Chip's turn. Chip, what games are you excited about?
So part of the problem of traveling for work is it's really hard to plan ahead to go to games. So I'm going to have to see what my schedule is going to allow. I don't know, maybe the New Year's Eve game against the Raiders, but I'm not sure yet.
He said he might be back in the States by that point,
This alleged scheduling czar said, we're going to schedule the Las Vegas team in a game on New Year's, and we're going to put that game in Indianapolis. Okay. All right.
See, I wanted to go to that
but...
game, and then I thought about it. I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that one.
Yeah, I mean,
because it's New Year's Eve, like, and people.
I told you, just come to Atlanta for Christmas. It's fine.
I can't. I gotta be here with the kiddo.
Bring the kiddo too. It's fine. Like everybody, Christmas in Atlanta. It's totally fine.
I love it.
Christmas in Atlanta.
I will
only be like 6 hours away from home, so that might work.
See,
6 hours away from Jacksonville.
Listen, I'm trying to help you out. I'm trying to plan strategically. You come, you do a stop in Atlanta, then you go to Jacksonville.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we'll see.
I'm gonna have to say it's for work.
Don't get my hopes up.
That's how I'll get out of Christmas. Sorry, guys. I have to go cover the Colts game. I'm so sorry. It's my job. What do you want me to do?
All right. Did any of y'all have anything else? Because that's all I had. I just wanted to go over the schedule and the draft because we didn't get together and talk about the draft. Like I said, each of us was doing our own thing. Meg was in the tropics. Chip was traveling the world. Business was booming for Boom, and me and Kev were just sitting in the cut, just chilling,
just firing off funny tweets, getting people upset, starting fires and walking away. It's what we do.
That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do. To start a fire, throw the match, and just
you guys fight over it.
Way. Yeah. You can at me all you want. I won't see it. At me all you want, because I won't see it. But did any of y'all have anything else to talk about? Anything else to say regarding those topics? No? Cool.
Looking forward to the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too, for sure. I'm looking forward to the season, man. Oh man, it's gonna be a long season.
This is gonna be funny because I feel like it's gonna be a stark contrast to last season when we were using it to like lament about the season.
Yeah.
Whereas this season it's gonna be like, we got no expectations. It's fine. Like
exactly.
if our young guns go out and play and they win 4 games again, it's a totally different
it's a different feeling
season than what we had last year.
Yeah, it's a totally different feeling. But then also that means with those 4 wins, Junior is coming back to Indy.
Also, yes. And can I say, I almost forgot about this. For the first time in many years, I'm seeing non-Colts fans talk about how hyped they are to use our team in Madden. So I will also say, for us Madden gamers out there,
it's a W.
Oh my God, a Colts dynasty will finally be fun, and you won't have to like blow it all up right from the scratch.
Right.
Oh man, I'm excited.
You always have to do that. And this goes out to EA. Do not mess this game up for 2020. What is it, Madden 24? Don't mess this game up. Please make this game the right way.
They are. They are.
I know.
They definitely gonna have some glitches in there.
If they do, we got to start a petition. Get EA off the Madden train. Give it
Oh
to
my
somebody
gosh.
else. Give it to 2K.
Are
Yeah,
we
exactly.
talking like? Are we talking like I want Jeff Saturday fired type of position? That kind of
Yes.
levels.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It's a
Oh, I'm
petition I'll
talking
actually
release the
sign.
Snyder cut levels where it actually gets done.
Yeah.
There, where all of Twitter is like, boom.
Yeah. Because all of Twitter will be behind us on that. So like it's
No
and I'll
good.
actually sign that petition to get EA off of Madden.
Yeah,
I'll
definitely.
sign
good.
it twice.
You see, hey, they still dragging their feet about NCAA. So
Yeah, they are. They are. But thank you all for those who have watched, those of you who are listening. It's going to be a really good season. Well, for us, because we have no expectations. Hopefully, y'all don't either. If you're Colts fans,
Hey,
but
thanks to y'all in the comments too. Come join us
thanks
next
to
time.
everybody in the comments for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
We appreciate y'all. Y'all are the reason we do it. Plus, we have a lot of grief that we want to get off our chests.
yes.
But nah, we appreciate y'all. And until next time, peace.
Peace. Gallop, gallop. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Boom.